This is Ferre with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Swenson, and this is another one of our Property Deal of the Week videos here for August of 2021.
Yeah, and today we're going to talk about a California tax sale. With California, they're a tax deed state, and so what happens if somebody's been delinquent for 5 years on their property taxes, then the county will actually foreclose on that property and offer it up at a tax deed auction.
Yeah, so California counties offer live and online auctions, but they don't actually sell any of their property after the sale that didn't sell. They don't have over-the-counter inventory. They just do resales.
Yeah, in fact, the properties that we're going to look at, I believe, are part of a resale. You know, before we get started, we noticed that only about 15% of you guys that are watching our videos are subscribed to the actual channel. So if you guys like what we do, go ahead and join and subscribe.
Yeah, now we're going to be looking at Butte County, California, which has a sale that's going to be happening on September 10th through the 13th through Bid for Assets.
Yeah, tax deed online auction sale. Now this first property has an opening bid of $14,000. We see it has an address there, and we can see it has an assessed value of around $106,000.
Yeah, we can see an overhead image here of the property, the satellite image. We can see it's a bigger chunk of property, 117 acres.
Yeah, 117 acres. And one thing as well is you know, when we were looking at the details there, it had details for the land. In fact, why don't we click back there real quick just to remind me. And we can see that it has land value of $97,000, which is actually something I really like because it shows a lot of the values in the land. But then there's also this improvement value, and you can see from the big map to the small map, the home there, and so there is some type of home or structure on the property.
Yeah. It looks like the value of it, they rank at about $8,000 or $9,000, and so you can take a look and see what kind of condition it's in.
Yeah, you can also see that there's road access to the property as well, which probably means that there's road and easements.
Yeah, this is basically the county's plat map on the property.
Yeah, you know, one thing that was kind of interesting as well is that this county, or this property, actually corners Yuba County. So it's located right there on the county line. It's in Butte County, but it bumps up against Yuba County.
This is its valuation on Zillow.
Yeah, well, I just trying to find properties for sale, and these are two properties that were for sale within about a mile of the area. In fact, this one to the left was really close, and we see this is about 13 acres for $159,000. The one on the right actually has a structure to it, so it's obviously going to have more value. But, you know, in looking at property for sale, there wasn't a ton of property like this for sale, and they tend to have higher prices.
Yeah, so it was safe to say the property value could be around $200,000, estimating.
Yeah, you know, from what I could see, it seems like it could probably be around there. Even starting at $14,000, let's say it's only worth what the assessed value is at $106,000, it would still be a great deal. But from what I can tell, especially with the structure involved, it has a higher property value than that.
Here's the second property we have here. It has an opening bid of $3,800 and is vacant land because we can see just land value, no improvement value there. We can also see that the address it tells us the street, but it's incomplete, which is also a lot of times an indication of land.
Yeah, and it has a value of around $25,000. You know, I'm looking at this property. It's not a huge property. In fact, would probably look a little bit more into it to make sure it's buildable. We can see that the property that's just right there in front of it has a home on it, and the property next to it has a home on it. It's pretty skinny, around 50 feet by 200 feet, though, so it is long. There is trailers in the area, and there is some road access to the property as well.
Yeah, here we can just see the actual plat maps here for the property.
Yeah, and getting an idea, these are the properties that were for sale within the area. The cheapest property for sale started around $18,000. We can see that one, you know, at $18,000 is only, you know, 4,300 square feet. So, you know, I'm thinking, you know, probably, you know, 20 to 30 grand would be reasonable.
Yeah, so again, with the $3,800 opening bid, there's certainly room there for profit. Let's look at the next one here. Now, this property has an opening bid of $45,000, but it has a complete address here, and we can see improvement value as well as land value.
Yeah, well, and one thing that was interesting, and it's part of the reason we wanted to look into this property, is that the assessed value is really low, but it has a high Zillow value. So, it's worth doing a little bit more investigation into the property. It is a structured property. It's on about a half acre. It does have road access. Here's just, the street side image of the property. You can see the property's kind of off the road a little bit.
Yeah, and a value of about 172.
Yeah, it has a value of around 172. So if you were to do an on-site evaluation and determine it is worth 150, structured properties in this area tend to be over $100,000 properties.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at the next one here. It opens up at $38,000. Is also a piece of vacant land that has a county assessed value of $70,000.
Yeah, this property is kind of interesting because it is a larger piece of property. It's not the 117 acres like the first one, but it's around 10 acres. It's off a major road there, and overall looks to be a pretty usable piece of property. In fact, we can see from the Google street side image that the property was for sale when the Google Street View was taken.
Yeah, and it does look very usable. It's actually appears to be fenced as well. Right now, but you can tell that it's just some light rolling hills.
Yeah. So these are properties that were for sale within 1 mile of this particular location. So we can see properties that range in here from 5 acres to about 118, 125. You can see a 8.8 acre lot for $775,000. So really you'd have to do a little bit more due diligence into this property. But I think it's safe to say that based off even these two properties that are half the size that are going for 125, the property's probably worth double what the assessed value is.
Yeah, at least. I would say that is probably a fair assessment there. It's going to be worth at least $140,000 with those 5 acre lots being valued at $120,000.
Yeah, well, and we're talking about properties that are located close to the area.
Yeah. It
also looks like there's some types of commercial properties out here as well. So this could be used as, potential commercial land as well.
Yeah, potentially big enough you could even subdivide it, eventually if you wanted there. So again, these are properties we've been looking at are in Butte County, California, who's holding their sale here September 10th through the 13th on Bid for Assets.
Yeah, now as far as this auction, if you want to participate in it, you've got to get your deposits in by September 7th. It's a $5,000 deposit.
Yeah. So if you like this information, you'd like more, you should sign up for our membership program on taxsalesupport.com. It is only $39 a month, and we believe by far the best value in training in tax sale lists.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to give you access to all of our list, weekly trainings. In fact, me and Shay do a weekly webinar each week for our members.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Again, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you like the video.
Appreciate it.